I gotta go live on YouTube versus hi. Okay, so I'm here to tell y'all some things. All right, and this is where it's at. We got to start getting ourselves together. You know what I'm saying? We got to start preparing. And if you aren't, your laws are, you have to know who you are as a person. You also know what your establishment is. You also have to know all kinds of international laws. When martial law is enacted, you got to be careful because they're trying to create a national disaster. They have to create a national disaster in order for them to initiate martial law. All right? In order for them to initiate martial law, they have to create a national disaster. So the Trump presidency paid hundreds of people in South America to form a caravan to march to the United States of America. That's right. That's a conspiracy in itself. Because when in history did any fucking caravan ever march to the United States? None. Ever. Because it was set up. It was a setup. The reason why it was set up because they needed to enact martial law. They need fucking $8 million to get out of debt. Not for a wall, because of debt. They want to be free from all these debtors. These debtors are Russia, China, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia, and the northern African countries. Yes, debt to the United States is in debt to these people. And because of that, they can't pay. You know why? Because we in war and crisis, and nobody wants to ship out money, and that's why they ain't gonna pay. And therefore, that's why they sit in the situation they're in. Now, I've been teaching people foraging for the last year or so. I've been blessed to know about foraging, you know, but we've been teaching people foraging for the last couple of years, and I've been trying to tell you when you're going to get your shit together, you know. I'm just going to let you know, if you don't get your shit together, this is what happens. You're going to be out of food, and then you're going to be in somebody else's debt. The United States is out of money. They got to cut down the amount of people that they have in order for them to survive, because the capacity of the people that we have and the finances and the areas in which we live is not equal in proportion. So they're going to have to do what you call population control. So we're going to have to enact a national emergency, and therefore we're going to have to enact a martial law, and therefore we can go to slaughtering people. We can start slaughtering people. Let's say it again. We can start slaughtering people. Slaughter them bitches, right? Chop them motherfucking heads off. So when you talk about chopping people's heads off, that's what they trying to do when they enact martial law. Martial law is going to be enacted in the United States because of some kind of disaster that is, whether it's natural or non-natural, it's a disaster that they create. And that creation of that disaster is going to spread. Have you been stacking your water? Probably not, fuckers. You know what I'm saying? You ain't been stacking your motherfucking water. You're too busy clubbing and trubbing and playing and smoking your weed. Well, guess what? Chicken butt. Ah, that was that's a kid joke back in the day. But guess what? This is what I'm here to say. If you haven't been stacking, you better get stacking. If you haven't been drinking, cleansing your body so that your body can be healthy. So if you need to run, you can run. If you haven't been taking care of yourself, then this is where you at. You hear me? You gotta take care of yourself because you don't know when shit gonna hit the fan. If you ain't got your weapons, you best get them out. If you ain't been teaching your kids how to live, you best get on it. If you ain't been teaching yourself how to stay afloat in this muck and mire, then you best get on it because it is a limited amount of time and shit's about to blow up like an atomic bomb. Hiroshima #2. You know what I'm saying? Nagasaki Part 2. That type of shit. So we gotta pay attention to those things. And ain't nobody really paying attention. They too busy out here playing these games. I tell them like, oh well, I have a foraging coming up at the end of the month. I was trying to see if I had an event so I can make sure I schedule it around it, but I don't have any event. So I'm be doing a foraging at the end of the month on a Sunday. I don't do work on Saturdays because I got tours and markets on Saturdays. But on Sundays is my free day until we start our Sunday brunch market. Sunday brunch market's already started at the poorhouse. Until we start our Sunday farmers market in March, then I'm free on Sundays, so we can do consultations, talks, whatever we need to do on Sundays until March. In the meantime, this is what I'm going to tell you. Martial law is coming. You ain't prepared. You don't know what martial law is. You better start digging. If you don't know what a national established disaster is, you better start digging. And if you haven't been paying attention to our drug addict president called the Trump Tramp or wherever, because that's my new nickname for him, Trump Tramp on, because I don't know what to say except for some cocaine behavior the other day. I know. I know how it is to hide those habits. You know what I'm saying? Like, So I'm going to post this video and I'm going to share it. And on Sundays, we're going to have a conversation with the Gullah Griot. Now, I also want to share Talking Collard Greens is our other new show, and that's the president of South Carolina's medical marijuana for minorities chapter is going to have a talk show called Talking Collard Greens. Talking Collard Greens, where we have an open-ended conversation, a uncensored conversation about medical marijuana for minorities and how we can get in the industry on various levels. Alright, y'all, I'm going to get out here. It's about 10 minutes. I'm going to get do some more driving, and then I'll be back later on today.